When they start talking, when the people that who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'ma beat his.
Can't do shit. Wait,
for real. Y'all better be quiet.
You've been talking since I've been baby.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
Man, I'm gonna
show you.
Next, I told y'all who I want to fight. I can't keep saying the same thing. I already told y'all who I want to fight. The best versus the best. That should be my next fight.
It happens now? What do you think?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, for
Do
sure.
you think it'll be your next one?
I think it could be.
Really?
Tension was building behind the scenes as Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson found themselves in a heated verbal exchange ahead of Teofimo Lopez's upcoming bout. The atmosphere quickly shifted when both fighters began trading pointed remarks. Tank didn't mince words. He sent a clear message that anyone who speaks up will have to deal with him in the ring. According to him, talking leads to consequences. And when that bell rings, he plans to take full control. His warning to the room was simple. Keep quiet unless you're ready for what comes next. Stevenson, however, refused to back down. Standing firm, he emphasized that boxing is about matching elite talent against elite talent. From his perspective, this is the exact challenge he's looking for. When the possibility of the fight becoming official came up, the response was straightforward. It's absolutely possible. Now the spotlight turns to what happens next. Was this simply pre-fight tension spilling over? Or are we witnessing the early sparks of boxing's next blockbuster matchup?
Let's make boxing great again. Let's put the best fighters in the ring with each other, and let's see who come out victorious.
Prior to Teofimo Lopez's bout, the atmosphere behind the curtain carried a different kind of energy. Shakur Stevenson made it clear why he's considered among the sport's elite, explaining that boxing should always come down to top fighters competing against one another rather than outside complications. For him, legitimacy is earned under the lights, inside the ropes. His remarks reflected the seriousness of his back and forth with Gervonta Davis, signaling that their exchange wasn't empty talk. What's unfolding goes beyond words. It represents a contest built on ability, self-belief, and the pursuit of championship status. If it materializes, this matchup could become one of the sport's biggest events.
Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at... He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you... All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing,
Behind the scenes, the discussion expanded beyond the immediate moment and shifted toward the sport's biggest names. The focus included Shakur Stevenson's move up to the 135-pound division, along with Devin Haney's point that reputation alone isn't enough when stepping into a new weight class. Being labeled the best carries expectations, but those claims still need to be validated against fresh competition. In Stevenson's case, questions remain because he has yet to compete at 135 pounds, leaving uncertainty about how his power will translate. It's a reminder of a fundamental reality in boxing. Regardless of talent or technical ability, every fighter eventually absorbs punches. What truly matters is how they handle that adversity. With that in mind, the exchange between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur takes on added meaning. Their words aren't just casual remarks. They reflect belief in their own abilities, a willingness to test themselves, and the serious stakes that come with performing at the highest level of the sport.
And Tank, disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say, I'm not who I say I am, come prove me. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter.
During the interview, the topic shifted to speculation about Gervonta Tank Davis potentially stepping into the ring with Jake Paul. Shakur Stevenson responded firmly, stating that matchups like that don't represent what professional boxing is built on. In his view, the sport is defined by elite fighters testing themselves against other proven contenders, not internet personalities. he reaffirmed his own position among the top names in boxing and urged Tank to demonstrate his level inside the ropes rather than pursuing attention-driven opportunities. Stevenson also pointed out that a bout with Lamont would present serious challenges, describing him as a dangerous competitor and emphasizing that Tank would have to perform at his highest standard. The conversation offered a clear look at the competitive mindset fueling the backstage exchanges. It underscored the intensity, pride, and significant consequences that surround high-level fighters like Shakur and Gervonta when discussions turn into potential matchups.
Competition. As you get older, you start to know what competition is, and he kind of looked at me like I feel like I was a threat, which is rightfully so. Like, I don't blame him for the way that he looked at me, but it is what it is. It's two guys that just want to be the best in our sport, and we were ready to lay it all on the line.
Did he say to you like, yo, I don't want to be friends, or we can't, or is it just like a gradual thing where it started to become more distant?
Now you just know energy. You know energy. Once you feel the energy that's coming at you, you understand like, okay, I get it.
When do you think that started to change?
I think as he kind of matured and got older. Once you get older and mature, his energy kind of let it be known like, yeah, you the ops. We got to fight. So.
And perhaps as you were progressing and, you know, getting to the level that you're at now.
He knew exactly. Deep down inside, he could sit here and say, I'm not this, I'm not a good fighter, I'm not that. But deep down inside, he knows that I'm the truth.
Right. So
with him knowing that, he knows that I'm the biggest threat around where he's at.
Do you see he gets very upset when people ask him about you?
Yeah. I think that's insecurity, though. I think he's insecure.
Because he knows that you give him trouble? Like, what's he insecure about, in your opinion?
With top level guys like him, because like I'm kind of different. I look at things like competition, but like his mentality is more so like it's either me or it's nobody. It's not a 1A, 1B, or you don't have nobody equal to you.
Ahead of Shakur Stevenson's matchup with Teofimo Lopez, emotions ran high behind the scenes as he and Gervonta Tank Davis found themselves in a heated verbal confrontation. The exchange quickly drew attention, with both fighters standing firm in their positions. Stevenson emphasized that he belongs among the sport's elite, making it known that boxing should feature top competitors facing one another to determine who truly comes out on top. He also questioned the idea of Tank pursuing a bout with Jake Paul rather than challenging established contenders. According to Shakur, experience teaches fighters to recognize which opponents represent genuine danger at the championship level. At the same time, it's clear that Gervonta understands the level of difficulty Stevenson would bring inside the ring. Their interaction reflected belief in their abilities, mutual awareness of the stakes, and the kind of intensity that surrounds high-profile matchups. Now the question remains, was this simply a moment of tension, or the early spark of boxing's next major clash?
He look like he got skill, right? But to be honest, I'm gonna be real, I ain't see him fight nobody that's like...
That's amateur shit. Come on, bro. When that heat coming back at you, them niggas, like, you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it. They ain't really... These niggas just talking that way. And it's always... Oh, he can be this, he could be the next. Nigga, prove yourself. You still haven't proved yourself. When someone was in front of you that was...
Gervonta Tank Davis shared his perspective on Shakur Stevenson, recognizing his ability while raising doubts about the level of opposition he's encountered so far. According to Tank, Stevenson has skill, but he hasn't yet stood across from an opponent capable of truly testing him at the highest tier. Tank made it clear that real validation doesn't come from statements outside the ring. In his view, when the pressure intensifies and the moment demands resilience, that's when authentic competitors reveal themselves. With Stevenson preparing to face Teofimo Lopez, those remarks add another layer to the situation. The upcoming fight carries significance, reinforcing the idea that there is still more for Shakur to demonstrate when matched with elite talent. Tank's assessment also sheds light on the friction seen backstage, pointing to a developing rivalry that could shape one of boxing's next major matchups.
Like Jake Paul versus Tank Davis or Floyd versus Tyson, good or bad for the sport of boxing?
I mean, I feel like in Floyd and Tyson situation is different than Jake Paul and Buddy. I feel like with Floyd and Tyson, it's like, okay, y'all deserve it. Y'all legends, y'all paid homage, y'all did the most for the sport of boxing already. So you deserve a big payday and be cool. I'm cool with it. I like it. But with Jake and Buddy, I feel like Buddy is a participate in the sport of boxing right now, and he just came off a draw his last fight. So if you're a real champion and top level guy that you say you are, which I think you are too, I think you're the truth. But if you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching will be the most competitive thing to do. With the Jake Paul situation, it's a money grab fight.
The conversation also drew a clear line between spectacle-driven exhibitions and authentic, high-level competition. Matchups involving social media personalities, such as talk of Jake Paul facing Gervonta Tank Davis, are often viewed as entertainment-focused events rather than meaningful contests within the sport. In contrast, icons like Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson built their reputations through years of proven accomplishments, establishing lasting respect in boxing. That legacy stands apart from bouts widely perceived as financially motivated showcases without competitive significance. Against that backdrop, Shakur Stevenson's upcoming clash with Teofimo Lopez represents something entirely different. It's a matchup centered on ability, consequences, and credibility, where performance inside the ropes determines status. Understanding that distinction also gives context to Stevenson's exchanges with Gervonta. Their words carry substance because they're rooted in championship ambition and real competitive tension, not promotional theatrics.
Love this sport. I mean, when you hear this today on social media or wherever you happen to get the news, were you like, what? Like, can that actually be, man?
Nah, I'm not shocked. I mean, his last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul. So I'm not shocked. It don't surprise me. So, nah.
You know, Shakur, Jake, when he fought Mike Tyson, he was 227 pounds. He was 199 and like 199 point something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just gonna go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
Shakur Stevenson spoke about physical advantages, ring experience, and what defines credibility in boxing, drawing a firm line between authentic competition and exhibition-style events. He pointed out that although Jake Paul has shared the ring with well-known figures such as Mike Tyson, Gervonta Tank Davis represents a different category entirely. An established elite fighter with years in the sport and a record built on knockouts. Even acknowledging a potential weight difference of roughly 70 pounds, Stevenson stressed that boxing is not decided by size alone. Tactical awareness, technical ability, and smart execution can neutralize physical disparities. In that sense, a seasoned fighter like Tank could rely on skill and ring IQ to outmaneuver someone with less professional depth. With Stevenson preparing to face Teofimo Lopez, those remarks underline the importance of the moment. This upcoming contest is a genuine high-level encounter where conditioning, preparation, and precision will determine the result. His statements also clarify why his exchanges with Gervonta carry significance. They stem from authentic competitive tension ahead of a matchup defined by championship-level stakes.
Rather than the road rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why? When it come to that?
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future, though?
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? He won, right? But how you look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. Y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so.
Supporters of the sport have voiced frustration when certain fighters pursue high-paying bouts instead of stepping in with leading contenders such as Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Teofimo Lopez. Observers point out that fan reactions can be intense, with allegiances shifting quickly and personal decisions often drawing heavy judgment rather than simple appreciation of the competition itself. It reflects a familiar reality in boxing. The longer an athlete remains in the public eye, the greater the level of examination and criticism that follows. Success and visibility naturally bring heightened expectations. In the case of Stevenson's meeting with Lopez, that environment helps explain the significance of the backstage exchanges involving Gervonta Tank Davis. These are accomplished fighters operating under major pressure, where reputation, opportunity, and legacy are all in play. Within that context, every statement and challenge becomes part of the build-up toward a contest defined by championship-level stakes.
Yeah. Can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world.
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds and it was just light work and me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass his jab, it's game.
Yeah.
It's food. It's lunch food. I am the best. I don't see no contract that says Shakur's name on there.
Yeah.
So until then, I'm going to say and talk my stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want to come that way, then come that way. I mean, you have investors that are with you, and that's great, but they understand that they cannot have you come this way.
In the moments leading up to Shakur Stevenson's bout with Teofimo Lopez, emotions were already rising behind the curtain. Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis found themselves in a tense exchange, with neither side backing away from the discussion. Shakur spoke with certainty about his place among the sport's top competitors, emphasizing that true boxing greatness comes from elite fighters meeting in meaningful contests rather than pursuing attention-driven matchups. His focus remained on proving himself against the highest level of opposition. Tank, while giving credit to Stevenson's ability, raised doubts about how he responds in demanding situations. He questioned whether Shakur has fully demonstrated his composure when facing heavy resistance, and suggested that he presents a more formidable test inside the ring. As supporters continue to debate why certain fights are made and others are delayed, both athletes appear committed to validating their status through legitimate, high-pressure encounters. With Stevenson preparing to step in against Lopez, the tension behind the scenes only intensifies the atmosphere. Every stare, comment, and challenge adds to the buildup surrounding what could become boxing's next major event.
Or moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. Shakur Stevenson has a very strong style where he can sit back and pot shot you and box and stuff like that, where Teofimo can also box and is very athletic and can get from side to side and can make things difficult for you as well. So what style is going to impose on the other is what we want to see.
So which style will impose? Is it something where like the first rounds really will dictate, or?
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that. Well, maybe. I mean, Shakur might show some different. If he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa. You know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving Shakur Stevenson trouble.
The conversation also turned to how moving up in weight can influence a fighter's speed and overall style. Shakur Stevenson has consistently shown quickness and technical precision at lower weight classes, but stepping into a higher division introduces new challenges. Opponents may bring greater power, different attack angles, and enhanced athleticism, forcing adjustments in approach and strategy. Commentators note that the opening rounds often set the tone, as each fighter gauges the other's strengths and weaknesses. It may take several rounds before one style begins to dominate. In the context of Stevenson facing Teofimo Lopez, this underscores how every round, every punch, and every tactical change carries significant weight. It also adds depth to the backstage exchanges with Gervonta Tank Davis, where the underlying tension reflects these high-stakes dynamics.
I know we gonna see the Shakur Tanks, the Shakur Devin, the Devin Tanks.
There's only one fight that is really
the one.
That, like, if we were like gonna be for real about it, like,
keep it honest. What's
like,
the fight?
My opinion, because we talking about like skill and like boxing, like all around boxing, right?
Yeah.
Because we ain't talking about somebody that just got a good jab or what.
Yeah.
We talking about like all around.
Can do everything.
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah.
Me and Tank the biggest fight.
That's the one.
It's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens.
Y'all, what you think? Like 147, 140?
Nah, hell no.
135?
35, 40, I don't know. I could see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
Yeah. I think Tank will sign that contract.
Dang. Experts have highlighted a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis as one of the sport's most compelling matchups, noting that it would push both fighters to fully utilize their skills, techniques, and overall abilities. Unlike typical contests, this fight would test every aspect of their game, from speed and power to defense and ring intelligence. If the bout takes place at 135 or 140 pounds, it has the potential to become a landmark event in boxing, attracting enormous attention from fans and media alike. As both athletes are expected to finalize agreements in the future, excitement continues to build. The intense exchanges backstage are far from mere hype. They reflect the beginnings of a rivalry that could evolve into one of boxing's most significant and eagerly anticipated showdowns.